these are the Realme Buds Air Neo, and besides that name, these are the AirPods clones that I think actually work. The design of the case as well as the buds is slightly different than AirPods. The case is more chunkier and shorter, but the overall finish is identical. The buds themselves are also slightly bigger. The stem is more flat than round. I don't actually have AirPods with me right now, as they got lost back when you could actually travel. But make no mistake, these are designed to be mistaken for AirPods, and they do. That also means if AirPods weren't your fit, these likely aren't too, and everything kind of fails if they don't fit you. These do fit in my ears better than AirPods, but it still feels like they are gonna fly off any moment. It's not a secure fit by design. These are also light in weight and I can barely notice them in my ears. And it's got that click. And the magnets are all strong enough. Now actually using these for the first time, they don't pair magically like AirPods do with iPhone, but more like if you were to connect AirPods with Android. And that's fine. When you first get them, open the case and select them in Bluetooth settings on your phone. From now on, you just open the case and they connect automatically to the last paired device. And when you want to pair them to a new device, put the buds back in case and hold this button to enter pairing mode, and then find them in Bluetooth settings. Now these don't connect to more than one device at a time, so if you switch devices regularly, you'll have to turn Bluetooth off on your current device and then select them on the other. The connection is pretty solid with Bluetooth 5 and I can move around the house without dropping a beat, but it cuts out between different floors and there are no random dropouts or mismatch or any sync issues whatsoever. Now all wireless buds have some latency and these are no different. Well, technically they are. There's a special gaming mode that claims to reduce latency between audio-video by 50%, and I have to say it works. It really does make a difference while watching movies or videos, editing on my iPad, and in other apps and games. It's still not perfect, but it's pretty close. Now you'll have to enter gaming mode every time you take them out of the case by pressing and holding both sides for 2 seconds. For listening to music, podcasts or any audio really, latency doesn't matter all that much, but for all those other things, it's nice to have. It takes a second to get the placement right, but once you get it, it's perfectly fine. Double tap to play pause music, triple tap to skip forward. There's a slight delay, but it works every time for me. The controls are actually fully customizable inside the app and you can change about everything if you want. Currently it's only on Android, but it remembers the settings across devices. There's no volume control like most true wireless earbuds, and there's no optical sensor on the buds, so no wear detection to magically pause the music when you take it out. Instead, the music just keeps on playing. It's a little disappointing because it's an incredibly useful feature to have, but you don't get that here. Now sound quality is pretty subjective and it depends on where you're coming from. First of all, these are no match for in-ear buds that go inside your ear, nor do these sound better than wired earphones that come with your phone. And while these do look like AirPods, they surely don't sound like them. Although like AirPods, volume doesn't go all that much high. Now that all seems disappointing, I know, but really, that's where the tech is right now. Listening to podcasts and spoken audio is fine, but music does sound a bit compressed. Also, the sound signature is a bit weird and it feels like the tuning is off. The bass is present but is nowhere near AirPods or even wired earpods. It might be better than others in its price range, but if I'm being honest here, I don't really enjoy listening to music on these. Hey, so this is being recorded on these connected to my iPhone. And here's with just the iPhone's built-in mic. Okay, so this is coming at you from these Buds Air Neo. There's a single mic at the bottom. This is the wired earpods, probably the gold standard for video calls. And this is with a lap mic. Okay, so this is being recorded internally on an Android phone, and it's actually raining outside right now, so it should be a good test. And this is me talking directly into my iPhone, and these are the wired earpods, and again with the Buds Air Neo. This is with a single bud, and this is the iPhone speakerphone. Taking calls with them is also mostly okay, and you can use a single bud if you want, but the battery drains quite a bit faster, and I estimate it to be an hour. That's a bit on the low end. In fact, battery life as a whole is pretty mediocre on these. Now, I listen mostly at 60% volume, and they went from 100 to 0 in about 3 hours. So hopefully, you will be able to complete a movie with them. Also, with my usage, I have to charge the case weekly. Now, it charges via micro USB, and there's no wireless charging either. And to top it all, no quick charge also. The buds take 15 minutes to charge from 0 to 70 and 30 to go from 0 to 100. In terms of real world usage, on and off these last me 4 days. With all things said, battery life, while not totally unusable, is also not that great either. And a quick word about the environmental concern these buds pose. With such tiny batteries, you're looking at about a year of use before the battery starts to wear out. Eventually, they are going to end up in landfills in oceans around the world. That's a thing no one has managed to figure out. Now, it's difficult to talk about these without comparing them to Buds Air. They do cost a bit more but come with wear detection, USB-C and wireless charging, which is sort of worth the extra cash in my opinion. I never bought them because they were never available in black color, but I'll recommend those if you can't stand in-ear type buds. These do work pretty well even if they sound mediocre, and most importantly, these lower the barrier to the true wireless life.